do some whole pineapple rings. Now you can leave this whole. You can take your knife down in here like this, and you can cut this up in large pieces. I just like mine quartered. It's easier to do one. This is much easier to do two-handed. Make sure you get that all the way through. Be sure and reserve your juice. Okay, and we're just going to line our tray up here with our quartered pineapple. Okay, and we'll be right back. You don't have to add anything to this. This has plenty of sugar in the juice. It's fine. And with the bananas here, if you'd like, you can brush some of them with a little bit of honey. Just slightly with honey. That kind of adds a little sugar, keeps them from browning as well. You can look online and see other recipes and other things that you can do. I like my pineapple this size because by the time it shrinks down, it's the perfect size for snacking on. Okay. And I'm just going to finish doing this until I get my tray filled up. And then we'll add it to the dehydrator as well. We'll let it drain here for a few minutes. I might kind of wipe it off with a little bit of paper towel. And we're just going to pat the pineapple dry, and we're going to pat it underneath here as well. And then we're going to carry this over and put this in our food dehydrator. And there we go. And we're just going to continue until we get all 8 trays filled up. And you can see here, this is for our bananas. This is the drippings from the pineapple. So we're getting a lot of juice off already. Okay, so the next thing up, we're going to go ahead and dehydrate. So we're going to dehydrate some yams. I got these yams for 50% off the $1.80 sale price at Big Lots. And they weren't, you can see they weren't due up until January of 2015. I could keep them in the can for another year, but I'm going to go ahead and I can vacuum pack these up dry, and these will stay good for 5 to 6 years. Okay, and they rehydrate. They rehydrate pretty good. I like putting these in some of my soups and stews. And well, I love mashed sweet potatoes and just sweet potatoes all together. So this is absolutely a delicious thing to use in the food dehydrator. And now we're going to go ahead and open this can, and I'll be right back. Now again, we've just patted these dry, and we're just going to slip them into the food dehydrator, and we're going to keep going. We have several racks left, so we have to keep going. Now we're going to do the same thing with a can of peaches, and we're just going to put these here on our trays. These are a lot thicker, so they're probably going to take longer. This and the sweet potatoes will probably take a while. And I'm just going to let these drain on here and do the same thing. Take a nice big chunk of paper towel, get them nice and dry. These are pretty good size. They'll shrink down pretty small though when they're done. And again, we're just going to continue to fill our food trays. This is a great way to use up your produce, and you can save the liquids for, I don't know, mixed drinks or smoothies, whatever you like. I'm going to turn this into a smoothie with some yogurt. It'll be delicious. I might even save out one of the peaches. Well, as you can see, there's some little pieces of peaches here on the bottom. I'll just use that. Okay, now again, you don't need anything on the peaches. We're just going to take a big old piece of paper towel, and we're going to kind of pat these dry. And we're going to wipe off the bottom just like we did before, the bottom of the tray. We're going to get that all nice and dry. And then we're going to put this in our food dehydrator with the rest of our fruits. Now I had some leftover key limes and some lemons, and they were starting to get a little mushy on me, but they're still good. And I really didn't have a recipe that I wanted to use not so fresh items in. So we're going to slice these about 1/8 of an inch thick. And we're going to place them on our trays, same as before, except I'm not going to pat these dry because I want the juice inside of these, okay? These don't have the added sugar syrups to them, the sugar sweeteners and stuff to them. So these are just naturally juicy, and I want all that to shrink down and concentrate, and these will be great. Put in some lemon waters and stuff, and lime water. It'd be great. Now I'm going to slice these up, and I'll be right back. Okay, now a little hint. Above the bananas, okay, and you can see while I've been doing this, I probably should have done the bananas last. But above the bananas, I placed the lemon slices. So any juices that might fall down from the lemon juice will help keep those bananas nice and help them from getting discolored. Okay, so we're just going to kind of even those out so the juice will kind of drip down onto those bananas. Okay. Okay, now we've just sliced an apple up as evenly as we could, and we've soaked it in a little bit of lemon and water juice, and we're going to add that. That was 2 apples, by the way. And we have 2 trays left, and we're going to fill those up with some strawberries. Now, with the strawberries, let's get this one-handed. With the strawberries, there's a hole in the container. So you can just wash the strawberries just like this right here. It's a nice cool rinse. You can just let them drain here for just a minute. Okay. And while they're draining, I've got this handy dandy little gadget here. Pop off the top here, try this one-handed. And you can see how it just kind of goes like this, kind of like a shot. You just want to hold it by sticking it in here like this. It's hard to do this one-handed. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Anyway, stick it in like that, give it a spin, and it holds the strawberry. Okay? Then once we've held the strawberry, we're going to cut the strawberry like this in even amounts. You can cut it this way too, but I like cutting mine in the shape of a strawberry. I like that little heart shape. So I'm just going to finish holding these, and we're going to get enough here for the next 2 trays, and our dehydrator will be full. And we're going to let this run overnight, between 8 to 12 hours probably. This dehydrator works pretty good. You want to keep an eye on your own personal dehydrator. But anyway, now the bottom 2 trays I've just filled up with my very favorite, and that's strawberries. Okay, so we have strawberries, apples, we have lemons and limes, we have peaches, we have sweet potatoes. Those are looking yummy. We have pineapple, and we have bananas. Oh, those are looking delicious. And we have lemons, more lemons. Okay, remember, like I said, put the lemons and the limes or your citrus on top so the juice will flow down over the top of the bananas and the other fruit, keeping them from browning. We're going to plug this in. We're going to turn it on, and we're going to set this for our fruits and fruit rolls at 135 to 145. And I'm actually going to set this on just a little hair shy of the 145. Okay? And we're going to come back in about 8 hours, and we're going to check on the bananas and some of the other fruit, and we're going to see how they are. We might have to flip them and turn them over. And I'll see you back here then. Okay, it's 22 hours later, and as you can see here, when you drop one of these, listen for the sound. Or when you break it, let's get one here. Here's a nice crispy one. You hear that? It's nice and crispy. Then you know that it's done. And what you want to do is you just want to take this out, and you just want to cool it for about 2 or 3 minutes here on the container. And you just hold it up like this, give it a little bit of a twist, and just kind of scrape them off. It's hard to do this one-handed, of course. And they'll just pop off. Spread them out like this for a couple hours. Make sure they're good and dry before we air seal them. And I'm going to show you in a minute how we're going to air seal the strawberries and the other fruit that we've dehydrated. Meanwhile, I'm going to take you over here to the dehydrator. And you can see I've already got the strawberries off this tray. Here we have our apples. Oh, these are nice and ready. Now the apples won't be crispy like a potato chip like the strawberries will be. They'll be all sunk in, and of course I left the skin on because that's the healthy part too. There's a lot of goodies in there. But it's a little bit, I want to say it's maybe a little squishy, not much, maybe up here towards this part. You'll see how it's all kind of indented and sunk in like that. Okay, these are ready. Here's our limes. And you can see here that these are ready. The thinner ones are ready for sure. See that? They're nice and thin and ready. They're a little tacky. I think I'm going to leave those on a little longer. I cut those a little thicker. Here are the peaches, and they're still sticky on the inside. They're not quite done yet. Here's one that's almost done here. That probably needs about another 6 hours, if not more. Hang on. There we go. Got a little bit of potato on there yesterday, got stuck. Okay, these are our sweet potatoes, and they're almost there. Probably another hour or two. More sweet potatoes. If you want them crispier or more leather-like, that's up to you. These were canned, so they had a lot more moisture to take out of them. If I had just used fresh sweet potatoes and just sliced them on here, they'd probably be just about done. They'd be more like potato chips. Oh, and the pineapple. Here's the pineapple. And yeah, I would definitely consider the pineapple done. You could just go ahead and sit it out to dry. That looks perfect. See? Still a little tender. I tasted one earlier and it's so sweet. Oh my goodness, it's delish. Okay, and here we have the bananas. Let's see where we're at on the bananas. They were a little mushy when I put them on because I soaked them in the lemon. They're still a little kind of leathery and soft. They're good, but I like mine crispier. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off the thing, and I think I'm going to fold them over. Just roll them over like this. They got a nice taste to them though. That's delicious. And we'll keep those going. Then here are the lemons, and the lemons were at the top, so you can see they're perfectly done. These need to come off. So what I might do is just kind of switch some of these around. Maybe put the lemons, well these are done, so I can just take these on over here. I can just go ahead and put these over here on my parchment. That's fine. There we go. And I'll move something up. The apples are pretty much done. I'll go ahead and put them on. Just every time just one sticks, doesn't it? I'll go ahead and put those on out to cool. I'm going to move the limes up. Some of them were done. And I'll take off the ones that I feel are done. Give them kind of a flip. And the ones that aren't quite so done, I'm going to leave on here. Okay. I'll leave some of these on. They definitely need to go. These are my limes. There we go. And because my lemons dried so fast on top, then we know where the heat's going, so we'll move those up to the top. Lemons, they need to be flipped. The pineapple, to me, is done. So I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and get the pineapple on here. In my case, the door on mine, I have to have the trays in mine because I don't have a door on mine. So we'll get those trays put back in there as quick as possible. Okay? So I'm just going to finish doing this and I'll be right back. I ordered some mats for my food dehydrator and they haven't got here yet. So that should really help. So I don't have to like peel them off like this every time I use it because that's kind of a pain. But anyway, we're going to keep doing this and we're going to put all these back in again. And here I've already got some bananas that I've already turned. And we'll put these back in here as well. Okay, now we know that I've sterilized my jars in the dishwasher. You can do this on the stove in a pot of boiling water if you like, but that usually leaves a calcium ring on my nice pretty new jars here. I got a bunch of new jars from actually from Menards, I think these came from. So I was in need of a new supply, and I don't usually buy jars from a garage sale because I never know what's been stored in them. That's just my opinion. My dad used to store oil and gasoline and chemicals and in a canning jar. So I like to buy mine new. It's just me. Some people might not have that luxury, but I do so. I do. So what you want to do is you want to take your dried fruit here. Okay. If you're going to eat these up quickly, there's no reason to put an oxygen absorber in here. That's fine. And I'm going to be adding some more fruit to the jar in a day or two here when I get some more dried up. Excuse me, I got some apples stuck in my throat. I had to, of course, sample my goods. But you see how the top of this lid bounces up and down? Now watch this. We're going to take our food saver. I've got the large mouth and I've got the small mouth food saver attachment. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to slip this on until you feel it pop all the way down. Then you add this piece, make sure it's in all the way. Make sure it's added in all the way. Now I don't have a fancy unit. Make sure it's locked on both sides. And my unit's the type of unit where I have to keep my finger on it. But now I want you to listen. You're going to hear this. You're going to hear the top of that lid seal and pop. And then you'll know that you're done. There you go. Did you hear that? Always give it a second try. And you want to remove the pin. And then you want to remove the jar. And how do you test this? Just take your thumb like this, and you really just cannot get that on here. And if you see this, no more bouncy up and down. Okay? And there you have it. A nice sealed jar. Now you can put, this sucks all the air out of this. Now you can put an oxygen absorber in here. I don't, because I'm going to use it up. If you use it up within a month or two, there's no reason for that. Plus, I'm going to be adding some more apples to this. So for right now, this works. And remember, you can reuse this lid. I've reused this lid 20, 30 times, and it's still sealing just fine. Okay? Now we're going to go ahead here, and we're going to add our lemons. Our lemons were nice and dry. Come over here a little closer. And these lemons are so good in just straight up water with just a pinch of sugar. And I just love these. And again, I'm going to dehydrate some more when I get some extras. Now, it's not necessary, but if you want to, you can add your ring. No big deal. Okay, there we go. Now here, we're just going to do it again. Make sure your jar is dry. Make sure your hands are clean and your lid is dry. Make sure everything is sterilized. Make sure you got that lid on there. Now see this lid right here? It has a little bit of crease in it. I don't trust that. Okay? I'm sorry, I like perfection. Now that was a little moist, so... some of these lids aren't the best there. It's not like a ball jar to have that issue. And again, we're just going to seal that on like this. Make sure it's in all the way. Make sure that our unit is locked down. Just going to hold that down. And you'll see that green light right here come on. That means it's sealing. And then we're going to go one more time. And again, we test the lid. It's on nice and tight. Perfect. And again, we're just going to get a ring. Put that on there. Now, a few things that I want to mention about these lids. Number one, they work with the food saver. Number two, they work for smallmouth and largemouth jars. And you have to buy these separately. And I think I had to buy the hose separately as well. Actually, this whole kit came together, but usually you have to buy it separately if it doesn't come with your machine. Number three, these will only fit Kerr and Ball jars. They do not fit Golden Harvest jars. Okay? You can try it on there and you can see, but they have never worked for me, and the instructions say that it doesn't work on other jars. So far for me, you know, I guess it's a good thing that they work with ball and with curd jars, because I mean, I've not had an issue. So that's how you vacuum pack seal. And again, you can put the oxygen absorber in here, 100 or 300 cc's oxygen absorbers, but I'm going to be drying some more stuff, and we're also going to be using these up. And there's no reason to put the oxygen absorber in here because we've got all the oxygen out of it. As long as we vacuum seal it every time we open it and we do it quickly, there shouldn't be an issue. Now, if you're going to use this for long-term storage, then of course you want to put in the oxygen absorber, and you're looking for apple slices, you're looking up to probably 2 to 3 years. For lemons like this, you're looking up to between 3 to 5 years. Limes, the same for limes. Pineapple, you're looking at probably close to 3 to 5 years. It's got a lot of sugar in it. You could probably even go longer. Strawberries, without the sugar, 3 to 5. With a little bit of sugar in them, soaked in them before you dehydrate them, which makes them really sweet and tasty. Then you're probably looking at about up to 5 years to 6 years of storage, if not longer. Depends how dry you get them. Just be sure and make sure that your jars are sterile, your hands are clean. You can even wear gloves if you like. I'm a chef, so my kitchen's pretty sterile. I mean, I clean my kitchen twice a day to 3 times a day, every day. That's just my habit I've gotten into. So, and I clean everything with a vinegar and orange rind. It's so good. It's a little bit of cinnamon in it and clove. Oh my goodness. And those have natural antibacterial properties in them. So, okay, so we're going to keep going. Just going to grab another jar here. And we're going to put in our pineapple. And this is just freezer paper. The pineapple will be a little sticky, and that's fine. That's just fine. Okay. Could use a smaller jar, but I'm going to dehydrate some more. So this was just a small can of pineapple, and it will freshen itself back up into the regular size again. And we saved the pineapple juice, because there's all kinds of yummy things and yummy drinks and smoothies you can make with that juice. Oh my gosh, I love pineapple juice. Okay, and here we go again. We're going to lock our sides. We're going to press the button. We hear the ting and the green light should come on. There's our green light. It'll shut back off. And you hear that ting? Suck it on a little bit more. We're going to check our seal. Everything is perfect there. Don't even need to put that on very tight. You don't even, like I said, you don't even need the rings, but just in case someone opens this and they don't vacuum seal it, I like to have a ring on it just in case. Okay? And these may be a little bit sticky together. That's fine. No problem. You can either let them air dry a little longer, but I mean, pineapple has a lot of sugar in it, so they're going to be a little sticky. But what you can do is you can take a little bit of cornstarch or something, and you can kind of put a little cornstarch in there. And now we're going to do the same thing with our strawberries. Now be sure and let these sit out and cool for at least 45 minutes to an hour before you vacuum seal them. You want to make sure that these are nice and dry and to room temperature. Don't put these in the refrigerator, whatever you do. Look, you see the little star on that one? See that? Isn't that neat? That's how it sat on that plastic in there. It kind of made a shiny star on there. I wonder if the others are like that. See, the others are kind of like that too. Cool. Oh, the fun we have with food. I'm like a big kid. Oh, I get every little morsel, trust me. There we go. Okay, and this is what about 3 pints of strawberries came down to. I'm not going to put an oxygen absorber in here because we'll have them eaten up pretty quickly, and I'm planning on making some more. So now if it was long-term storage, yes, I would put that in there. Okay, so now let me show you a little trick. Let's say it's just not sealing. you can take this lid, a second lid, turn it upright like this, put this on, and try to seal it that way. And sometimes for people that works. I've not had that work for me yet, and quite frankly, I haven't had to worry about it because I've never not had one seal. Again, you just have to check this, slip this on all the way down, make sure it's on all the way, put on your top, lock your machine, there's the green light. Okay, there it is. Okay, here we go. We got a nice seal. That's not going anywhere. See that? Put on our screw band. Just hard to do for me left-handed. There we go. And there we go. So far we have our apples. We have green Granny Smith apples, by the way, here. We got plenty more apples to do. We have some lemons that I had left over. Looks like there might be a piece of lime in there. That's fine. Some lemons that I had left over from making lemon and lime marmalade. We got one small can of pineapple. I plan on doing a large can now that I know the number of minutes and the temperature to set that on. And it's probably my favorite. And of course we have my favorite strawberries. And again, if you're just going to rehydrate them and add sugar, or if you're trying to be sugar free, don't add any sugar to it. That's fine. Okay? You can do that to just about anything. And here I just have the limes. I'm waiting for my limes to get done. We're going to come over here and we're going to check our stuff. Now I must have cut the limes a little thicker or something because it's taking them. See that? Hear that paper sound? Okay, we're getting there. Still a little damp right there. Gonna move them around a little bit. I put the ends in here. They don't really look like they're getting too done. I might have to just use them up. Here's our bananas. They're almost there. And here's our yams. Oh my gosh, these are so good. And here's our peaches. Oh good, they're starting to collapse. That's a good thing. You could consider these done and eat them just like this right now, but I like mine a little bit firmer. This is Chef Janie Pendleton, and I hope you've enjoyed how to dehydrate fruits with me today. And we're going to try vegetables tomorrow, so stick around and maybe we could all learn something together. This is Chef Janie. God bless and enjoy.